Something strange is happening right now. Markets are rising while currencies are failing. But depending on who you ask, there are different theories for what exactly is going on as well as what comes next. Some analysts call it the Great Melt-Up, a debt-fueled rally driven by government spending, speculation, and FOMO, resulting in rapid inflation, a government-manufactured crisis to revalue the debt, and ultimately, a silent default through currency debasement. Others, such as Austrian economists, call it a crack-up boom, the final stage of money printing when people rush out of cash and into anything else before the currency collapses. Two different names, two different perspectives. But what if they're both happening? The Great Melt Crack-Up Boom, a government-engineered melt-up colliding with panic from those who are waking up to what's really going on. Right now, everything looks like a win on the surface. Keywords on the surface. I see your comments, but Taylor, the stock market, it keeps going up, and you're right. This year, the Dow has hit fresh record highs. But not only that, home prices continue to stay up. Yeah, maybe they've cooled a little bit from their peak, but for many, it is still completely unaffordable to even think about buying a home, with many Americans actually now putting off marriage, having kids, even adopting a dog because of the affordability crisis within housing. Bad news for them, great news for homeowners. But not only that, cryptocurrencies also continue to go up. Bitcoin, and with many others chasing a new digital play. On paper, it looks like a boom. But if we dig just a little bit deeper, we start to see a very different story. Government deficits are skyrocketing. The Fed and the Treasury are doing whatever they can behind the scenes to backstop debt auctions. And demand for U.S. debt, the cornerstone of dollar dominance, is drying up in front of our very eyes. But at the same time, gold and silver are breaking out of record all-time highs. It is showing us what no one else will say, that the dollar is failing. Both the Great Melt-Up and a crack-up boom start with the same foundation, a government addicted to money printing and too much debt. Each crisis since 2008 has relied on more stimulus, more printing, creating a situation where government overspending is no longer a reaction, but standard policy. Today, the U.S. government has two options: balance the budget or keep spending. But you and I both know that balancing the budget is not only highly unlikely, it's politically impossible. To cut spending on programs that would certainly throw the U.S. into a deep recession. It could be deflationary, causing massive unemployment, a reduction in tax revenue, and ultimately more spending to help support the citizens, leading us in a round trip to nowhere. But the alternative to keep spending is even more dangerous, because the more you spend, the weaker the dollar becomes. But it is at this intersection, at this point of a monetary system trying to keep itself alive, that the Great Melt-Up really comes into focus. It's when inflation gets so bad that the government's back is against the wall and they make the intentional decision to hyperinflate away the debt, a silent default through devaluation. See, with the Great Melt-Up, nothing is by mistake or accident. It's all intentional, as seen through endless wars, never-ending deficits. And it's at this point when the government will manufacture a crisis, be it social, geopolitical, financial, whatever it might be, but a crisis that maybe none of us see coming, that's so bad that it allows them to slash rates to zero and print with infinity. And when they do this, the value of the existing debt is reduced to next to nothing, while nominally it stays the same. But the ones who pay the price for this are you and I, the everyday American citizens, who have the value of their dollar reduced basically to nothing. But during this transition, that is when the crack-up boom takes over. When citizens realize that their dollars will buy less tomorrow than they did today, that's when you see spending take off, rushing out of cash and into anything else to protect their purchasing power. It's not because people want to spend, it's because they feel like they don't have a choice. But during this period, it will feel like growth, like prosperity, because the velocity of currency that is exchanging hands is happening so fast. But all it is an illusion. It's an illusion built on a foundation of a failing currency. But this is where gold really shines, because gold isn't just another asset that's reacting to what's going on. Gold exposes what is happening when trust in fiat breaks down, when trust in central banks breaks. It is gold. Gold, physical gold, is the mirror to the system that they don't want you to see. Why do you think that central banks are buying as much record gold as they can get their hands on, the most in modern history? Why are BRICS nations banding together and using gold as the settlement asset, not fiat currency? And why are more and more mainstream investors starting to wake up and realize this isn't just a hedge against inflation? This is actually going to be positioned at the center of the new monetary system, a monetary system where fiat will not be at the center the way it is today. I am talking about a system that has not existed in the way it's about to during any of our lifetimes. Yes, gold has always played a role, of course, going back thousands of years, but they have tried to hide its position. They have tried to act like it's not true money, that the paper promises that we are paid in, that is true money, when the reality is the illusion is breaking. They cannot keep the lie going for much longer. And now, as that is being exposed, more and more people are realizing that it's gold that cannot be inflated or printed away, that it is gold that is going to protect your wealth from what is coming next during this reset. So what is happening right now? Well, I'm going to tell you my thoughts of what's going on, but I want to hear from you. What is your theory about what is going on right now? Is it both at once, the great melt up and a crack up boom? Is it one or the other, or is it something completely different than what I'm talking about? I believe that right now we have a government that is intent on inflating away our debt. They want low rates. They want to refinance that debt as cheaply as possible. And they're not scared of a little inflation because, again, it means that our debt, the value of our debt actually goes down. That is something we need at a time when buyers for our debt are disappearing. At the same time, we have widespread masses, I believe, for the first time in a long time, starting to wake up and panic and realize, okay, I have been sold a lie. The dollars that I'm being paid and the dollars that I'm storing my wealth in, my savings, my retirement, they are always going to be worth less tomorrow than they are today, and it's time to make some decisions. The more they print, the more people panic. The more people panic, the more they print. In both scenarios, what we eventually will see is hyperinflation. Right now, of course, we have inflation. We've had inflation for a long time, but it's not even close to as bad as I believe that it's going to get. What history shows us is coming next, which is inflation leading to rapid inflation, to hyperinflation, where, again, the value of your dollars are going to be worth significantly less. Those who have the foresight to protect themselves with physical gold and silver are going to come out the other side, not only protected, but in a position of opportunity. But there will be many who lose everything throughout this. The illusion is just starting to break. But to be honest, we still have a ways to go, which is why I think gold's price rise is only just getting started. And unfortunately, people who are holding dollars have a lot more to lose. I'll put it simply. In all resets, at the end of the crack up boom, at the end of the great melt up, at whatever you want to call it, what is happening right now is a currency reset. Right? The value of the currency is being reset minute by minute, second by second. And in every single reset throughout history, the majority of people lose. Not because they weren't hard workers, not because they weren't good savers, but because they were not positioned properly, because they took the government's word at face value, because they put their faith and trust in a currency, in a paper promise that had no intrinsic, real, or tangible value. And because of that, they were left with nothing. But you see what is happening right now. You see what is coming next, which puts you in a unique position to be able to protect yourself now before it's too late. If you don't already have physical gold and silver, or you do, but you want a second opinion to make sure that you're positioned for what's coming next, call us at the number below or click the link in the description to set up a time that works best for you to talk to one of our expert analysts. They have years of experience in helping people just like you answer questions. Everything we do here is trying to help educate everyone, as well as make sure that you take action so that you are protected against what is coming next. It all depends on your goals, your concerns, your situation. It is different for everyone, which is why I say if you have any questions or you're even considering protecting yourself with physical gold and silver because you see what's coming next, call us at the number below. or scan the QR code, whatever is easiest for you. And in the meantime, I so appreciate you being here. I'm Taylor Kenny with ITM Trading, your trusted source for all things gold, silver, and lifelong wealth protection. Until next time.